Hi, Mike Gibson, Kenneth Rosenfield coming to you live from SCAI 2018. We're talking about the Pulmonary Embolism Response Team, or PERT. Tremendous growth over the past few years. Can you tell us a little about where you see PERT now and where you see it going in the future?
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for doing this discussion. PERT's exploding. Obviously, you know what PERT stands for is Pulmonary Embolism Response Team, and what it is the concept that at your institution you have a multidisciplinary team that works together, collaborating to take care of patients with pulmonary embolism. Pulmonary embolism is an incredibly underserved problem, under-recognized and under-treated, we believe, and also the evidence base for how you treat PE is really as a wasteland. There's a lot we need to learn about it, and so in the absence of evidence, we find the best way to obtain a consensus about how to treat somebody is by getting people together and eliminating the variation in treatment that exists out there. So PERT as a consortium is basically a large number of hospitals that have coalesced, hospitals that have teams, coalesced into a group that will then combine our efforts to increase that database, increase that knowledge base, develop an evidence base that will allow us to treat PE better. So, as you know, we're working with you
Yes.
at Boston Cardiovascular Research Institute, which is an initiative we just launched. It's very exciting over the past literally 3 weeks, where we signed an agreement, and BCRI is going to serve as our data house, if you will, manage our database. We already have done a pilot project with some 11 or 12 centers that have been contributing data over the past year, and now we're set to expand. We think there are about the PERT Consortium has some 80-odd sites that are paid members, actually. These are institutions that have paid dues to participate, and they will all, I believe, be contributing their data. Pretty interesting to think about the concept that we might accrue some 50 to 100,000 patients over the next couple of years with pulmonary embolism in a conjoined database, and imagine how that will further our knowledge of how to treat PE.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the most exciting things is building a backbone that we can all use, not just in the U.S., but even around the world, where we could go to regulators, and we hope to do this, to say, are all the data elements there that you need to do the post-marketing surveillance about a drug or a device, and very efficiently have a resource that everyone can use to interrogate all this. So I think it's really exciting, and that's why we're so thrilled to be working with you.
FDA is very, very interested, as is CMS, and in fact we are intending to get together with them formally over the next 3 or 4 months to make sure that we are including the elements of the within the database that we need to. We're starting with about 400 elements that we've sort of worked with, the data dictionary that you're very familiar with, but I think that will expand a little bit or be finessed a little bit so that we can make sure that we are answering the questions that FDA and other regulators do want to know. But I think the exciting thing is the opportunity to improve PE care and improve awareness of PE. I had a discussion this morning with one of the folks at the symposium that we ran, which, by the way, we had 110 people sitting in seats at 6:30 this morning, all eager to learn about pulmonary embolism, which says something about how impactful this can be and how much of a hunger there is out there for filling that knowledge gap, if you will. But the conversation was something like, I had a patient that died the other day, and we thought it was an MI, and it turned out to be a pulmonary embolism. And I have this pet peeve that I think of all the people that die on the street, and everybody says that person died of a heart attack. I personally believe that probably 25% of them are dying from massive PE that is unrecognized. So it's become a passion of mine. I never thought it would be, but now at this point in my career, recognizing there are gaps in our care of patients, and this is one big one.
Yeah. Well, it touches us all. I mean, I think all of us have family members in our family who've had PE. My dad died of a PE. My mother's had 2 massive PEs.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, Don Bain, our
Yes.
founder, died of a PE. So I think it touches all of our lives, and that's why I think it's odd that it's been so underserved in terms of the focus on data collection and analysis and understanding it. So it's great to see you and your energy and leadership driving this process.
Yeah, thank you. I think, why has it been underserved is a really interesting question, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's treated by so many different specialists.
Right.
And so the PERT consortium and the PERT concept of multidisciplinary teams addresses that, front and center, gets everybody working together. It's not always easy. It's a challenge, as you might imagine. There's some naysayers, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like the train's leaving the station. Better get on it. And that's what I tell people at sites where people are not necessarily coming on board quickly. I say just get on the train and go, and everybody who's a naysayer will climb on board.
Yep.
The other thing we're doing, I just should mention, is that we have the PERT Consortium has our annual business meeting on the 21st of June in Nashville, which will be terrific. That's a closed door meeting with 200 or 250 people that will be rolling up their sleeves and figuring out how to direct the consortium over the next year. And then we have a CME meeting, a symposium on pulmonary embolism that brings together all the world's experts on PE on the 22nd and 23rd of June, again in Nashville, and I hope that people plan to attend. I think it's important to get your hotel room now because we may actually sell out. It's grown every year. Last year we had 500 people at the meeting.
Wow.
So
great.
But we're developing the other things that PERT Consortium, I should just mention, are doing. And we're developing protocols to standardize the treatment of PE. And I believe that I think the PERT Consortium is going to be the purveyor of the guidelines documents, basically. I think that so far it's been CHEST and European guidelines and AHA, but I do believe that this data that we're collecting will enable us to really better define what the guidelines for treatment should be moving forward. And
it's a bigger tent. It has many more subspecialties involved per test.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kenny, thank you for your leadership. Congratulations. And thanks to all of you for joining us here live from SCAI 2018.